Hello, everyone. We just came from please have your seat, a 3-hour meeting with all 21 APEC economies discussing how to generate more growth and more opportunity in the region, particularly to deal with climate change. Today, we're announcing progress on the important initiative that we proposed with 13 of my colleagues here and of 13 of our APEC partners, the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. Australia, Brunei, Fiji, India, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and the United States. In May of 2022, we came together in Tokyo to launch negotiations on this so-called framework. We still have more work to do, but we've made substantial progress. In record time, we've reached consensus on 3 of the pillars of the IPEF. I hate acronyms, but I apologize. First, we signed the first-of-its-kind supply chain agreement to help identify supply chain bottlenecks before they become the kind of disruptions we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic. We saw what happened then in the United States and elsewhere, but in the United States, the semiconductor supply chains dried up in Asia, and the United States, a lot of it shut down. This is an agreement we've put back in place. If we had this agreement in place we're talking about today, we would not have had to lay off so many auto workers because lack of semiconductors and many other examples. Second, we've concluded an agreement to accelerate the clean energy transition in the Indo-Pacific region, including by enabling greater U.S. and private sector investment in clean energy innovation and infrastructure in our partner countries. You heard discussions today about how there's many opportunities and ideas that they have, but being able to attract private sector investment and government investment is hard for many of these countries that have great ideas and great opportunities. Well, the solar investments in the Philippines, an example, offshore wind in Thailand and Indonesia, joint investments between the United States and India on energy storage, and so much more. Third, we've concluded an agreement to combat corruption and improve tax administration to make sure that our trade and investment is clean and transparent and private companies don't have any worry about their investments being used properly. And that's exactly what we've done. Every business leader I've talked to, and my colleagues have, they're more likely to invest in a region if there's less corruption, more transparency, and that's exactly what this agreement does and would show them. But as I've said, we have more work to do. We made progress in high-standard trade rules that include strong labor and environmental standards. We've committed to extending our cooperation to challenges like artificial intelligence, energy security, and semiconductors. We're launching a critical minerals dialogue to further strengthen our supply chains and create clean energy jobs. And today, I'm proud to announce that the United States is launching what we'll call the Investment Accelerator through our partnership with the Global Infrastructure and Investment. Accelerator is going to bring private capital off the sidelines for major investments in clean energy and high technology. You've heard every one of my colleagues say one time or another that this can't be done without trillions of dollars of private sector investment to get hold of this and get hold of it quickly, to give them confidence to make those investments. This is going to create a pipeline of projects in partner countries and then match private sector financing with these projects. And it's going to give those private sector investors confidence that their investment will be made according to the highest standards. Government investment is not enough. We need to mobilize private investment, and all the steps are going to help unlock this private investment, and which is a necessary ingredient for success and rapid success in the area we're talking about. Put simply, my colleagues and I are driving a race to the top among nations in the Indo-Pacific, driving the nations to the top on standards, on transparency, on inclusivity and innovation. And together, we're going to be forging a better future, one where workers get a fair shot and a fair share of the value they create, where high standards and sustainable growth win out, where we harness the full power and potential of our people. We welcome other nations who share this vision for the future to join the 13 of us. Our economies will all be stronger because of it. Now I'd like to turn it over to a leader who has made this partnership possible, Prime Minister Kishida. Jan, the floor is yours, Mr. Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister of Japan.
Thank you.
昨年5月に東京で IPEF 交渉を立ち上げて以来、わずか1年半で大きな進展を見たことを心から歓迎いたします。バイデン大統領の力強いリーダーシップに敬意を表したいと思います。日本はインド太平洋地域の経済秩序の強化という戦略的な観点からIPEF を重視いたします。米国のインド太平洋地域への積極的なコミットメントを示すものであり、米国の責任ある姿勢を歓迎しています。IPEF は地域における持続可能な経済成長に欠かせない時代の要請を極めて的確に反映した枠組みであると思っています。同時に IPEF をより一層意義あるものにするためには、すべての参加国の積極的な関与が不可欠です。そのためには、ハイスタンダードなルール、基準を策定することに加えて、参加国の関与を促し、具体的な協力案件を形成することが不可欠です。今回、IPEF の中で立ち上がったさまざまなイニシアティブを通じ、参加各国が必要とする分野で実体的なメリットを提示できるよう、日本として引き続き取り組んでまいります。IPEF はこれからも進化し続ける枠組みです。IPEF を活用しつつ、インド太平洋の持続可能な成長、平和と繁栄を実現するため、皆で引き続き力を合わせていこうではありませんか。ありがとうございました。
The President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam.
Thưa Ngài Tổng thống Joe Biden, thưa các vị lãnh đạo, thưa quý bà, quý ông, khuôn khổ kinh tế Ấn Độ Dương-Thái Bình Dương vì thịnh vượng là nỗ lực chung nhằm tăng cường hợp tác, phối hợp giữa các nền kinh tế trong bối cảnh thế giới đối mặt với nhiều thay đổi, cơ hội và thách thức đan xen. IPEF được kỳ vọng là mô hình liên kết, kết nối kinh tế năng động, hiệu quả, mang lại lợi ích thiết thực cho người dân, đóng góp cho hòa bình, ổn định và thịnh vượng của khu vực và toàn cầu. Chúng tôi đánh giá cao đóng góp của Hoa Kỳ, đặc biệt là của Ngài Tổng thống Joe Biden, cũng như của 14 nước. Trong đó, các nước ASEAN đã tổ chức thành công 5 phiên đàm phán, ghi nhận các bộ trưởng đã thống nhất được tiền đề quan trọng cho hợp tác trên cơ sở các nguyên tắc bình đẳng, cùng có lợi, bao trùm, tuân thủ luật pháp quốc tế, tôn trọng pháp luật và thể chế chính trị của mỗi nước, đề cao tính linh hoạt và tự nguyện. Để IPEF thực sự hiệu quả, tôi nhấn mạnh 3 điểm sau. Một là IPEF cần là cơ chế hợp tác mở, bao trùm, không phân biệt, đối xử, ủng hộ hệ thống thương mại đa phương dựa trên luật lệ, hoan nghênh sự tham gia của các nước trong và ngoài khu vực, tương trợ và bổ sung với các sáng kiến kết nối, liên kết kinh tế khu vực khác. Hai là Hợp tác cần
Second,
đáp ứng
our
nhu cầu phát
cooperation needs
triển,
to respond to the
cân bằng
development
lợi ích
needs
của các bên.
as well as reflect the balance of interests of different parties, respect and take into account our respective differences and unique circumstances, and focus on technical assistance and capacity building. Third, IPEF should encourage new investment into infrastructure development, clean energy transition, and high technology manufacturing in the region. Esteemed delegates, it is our shared aspiration and goal to cultivate sustainable development and prosperous economies that deliver well-being and happiness for our people. Vietnam hopes that through IPEF and other regional cooperation frameworks, we will together build a bright future ahead. Thank you.
The President of Indonesia.
Excellencies, President Biden, leaders of IPEF partner countries, Indonesia is always open for cooperation with all parties based on mutually beneficial cooperation. These are the principles that provide the foundation for Indonesia's participation in IPEF negotiations. We understand the national interest, including the interests of developing countries, are key to having a good cooperation. The success of the IPEF will depend on how the parties will benefit from this. The cooperation for the green economy, the expansion of trade and investment, energy transition, as well as the strengthening of supply chain for critical mineral will be crucial in IPEF cooperation. We must present a concrete cooperation in these priorities, and I do appreciate the signing of Pillar 2 agreement on supply chain as one of the concrete outcomes by IPEF countries in responding to disruption of global supply chain. I also welcome the completion of substantive negotiations of Pillar 3 on clean economy and Pillar 4 on fair economy. Indonesia is committed to conclude Pillar 1 negotiation in 2024, as well as to implement the agreement. I thank you.
The Prime Minister of the Republic of Singapore.
President Biden, Excellencies, I thank President Biden for the invitation to be at this milestone of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity, or IPEF. Singapore welcomes the IPEF's forward-looking and positive agenda on economic cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. IPEF is a strategic platform for the US's continued commitment to engage with its partners in Asia and to deepen ties in the region. It demonstrates our shared commitment to an open, inclusive, and rules-based order that's stable, secure, and prosperous. Singapore welcomes the innovative agreements on supply chain resilience, clean economy, and the fair economy. These will enhance the trade and investment environments in our economies for businesses, for workers, and for other stakeholders. We will also welcome progress on the trade agreement. Trade is the lifeblood of the global economy, and the trade pillar is an integral part of the IPEF agreement and of the US's economic and strategic engagement in the region. But developing new and creative approaches to trade policy is not easy, and it takes time in order to carefully work through sensitive areas and to choose the best moment to commit the deal. Therefore, we look forward to further progress in the negotiations as well as in tangible cooperation next year. Singapore is honored to have been able to contribute to shaping the IPEF. We will continue to work closely with our partners to implement the IPEF agreements and initiatives. Singapore is happy to host the inaugural IPEF Clean Economy Investor Forum in the first half of 2024. In order to help match capital to climate-critical projects to advance decarbonization and transition to net zero economies, and also to complement the IPEF Climate Fund and IPEF Catalytic Capital Fund established by President Biden to develop and finance climate-related projects in the region. The IPEF should continue to be open, inclusive, and flexible, including towards new members. And we look forward to continued commitment from all partners to deliver tangible benefits and to build up the IPEF with high ambition, new ideas, strong people-to-people ties, and to drive regional economic integration and enable all of us to progress forward into a new era of partnership. Thank you.
This concludes the program. Audience, please remain seated until the leaders depart.
Counter China's economic policy.
Hang tight. Just wait for me. Come on. Huh? Yeah, I know. We're coming. Yeah, come on. Come on. Yeah, no, hey. He's...